Exam and grades are not the goal of education. They are just one of the means. The goal of education is to enhance to allow the young people and the children to become good human beings, to thrive, to unfold their full potential.
Chia sẻ xoay quanh chủ đề xây dựng hạnh phúc từ trường học và doanh nghiệp tại trường Đại học Fulbright Việt Nam vào tối 31 tháng 10 năm 2023, giáo sư người Pháp gốc Việt Hà Vĩnh Thọ, nguyên giám đốc chương trình của Trung tâm Tổng mức Hạnh phúc Bhutan, đồng thời là Chủ tịch Học viện Eurasia về hạnh phúc và an sinh, nhấn mạnh thực trạng gia tăng các vấn đề về tinh thần của người trẻ.
So in our time, economic growth has become really the focus of the attention in almost of all the countries in the world. But now we are seeing the limits of this economic paradigm, because we see that focusing on economic growth again alone has not diminished the social economic inequality within society. Economic growth is not the goal. Economic growth is one of the means, and that the goal should be to improve people's happiness and the well-being of all life forms. And Vietnam is one of the countries that is part of the PISA survey. And actually, in academic terms, Vietnam has been doing very well. For instance, in science, they have a better results than a country like the UK. So actually, Vietnam is doing well in terms of academic results. But in terms of students' well-being, it is more difficult. And we have seen, especially after the COVID, that many young people in Vietnam are suffering from mental problems, depression, burnout. The pressure to pass exam is very, very strong, and a lot of children and even their parents are suffering from these strong pressures. So I believe that in the same way then that when we say economic growth is not the goal, but is a mean, in the same way exam and grades are not the goal of education. They are just one of the means. Goal of education is to enhance to allow the young people and the children to become good human beings, to thrive, to unfold their full potential.
Đồng quan điểm về nhận định, hạnh phúc là khi chúng ta thỏa mãn những nhu cầu của bản thân. Giáo sư Hà Vĩnh Thọ tin rằng, dù nhu cầu của mỗi cá nhân là khác nhau, nhưng mọi đứa trẻ sẽ hạnh phúc khi được phát huy tối đa năng lực cá nhân. Sự phát triển đó đặc biệt phù hợp trong thời đại AI, việc học vẹt, đơn thuần đã trở nên vô nghĩa.
Oftentimes when we speak about having your needs met, we only speak about material needs. And of course, on material level, your choices might be different from one person to the other. But from the perspective of the development of the child, the needs are much more holistic than just material needs. A child needs to learn and grow and develop, because that's what children do. And unfortunately, oftentimes in schools, this aspiration towards learning and growing and developing is not really supported, because what we ask of children is to fit into a model, to adapt, to be conventional, while the need of the child is to develop their full potential. So if we support this development of the child, if we support children's agency, children's initiative and innovation, they're thriving towards innovation, this actually is quite universal and really helps the child develop. So these needs are very much transversal. They are not specific. And I think it's true for from kindergarten all the way to university. We need young people who are innovative, who are creative, who have agency, who have strong ideals and impulses. That's what the future needs, not just children who are willing to just follow orders or just to adapt to what is told them.
Sau 5 năm tiến hành thí điểm dự án Trường học hạnh phúc ở Việt Nam, giáo sư Hà Vĩnh Thọ khẳng định yếu tố tiên quyết trong sự thành công của mô hình này là vai trò của giáo viên. Nền tảng hạnh phúc của mỗi đứa trẻ được tạo dựng từ trong trường học sẽ được tiếp nối khi trưởng thành và phát triển tại nơi làm việc.
Only happy teachers can have happy students. And our idea is not to force a ready-made curriculum on the teachers, because again, if we want children who have agency, we need to have teachers who have agency. And the teacher are the experts because they're the ones standing day by day in front of the classroom. It's not the people in the ministry or in the research institute who have the best knowledge of the needs of the children. So if we begin by developing these happiness skills in the schools, so the young people grow up having developed these skills, so they bring it along in the workplace. And again, mentioning development of AI and what is called the fourth industrial revolution, the kind of competencies that people will need in the workplace will be really very strongly social emotional skills. The skill to be innovators, the skill to be creative, to work as a team, because the challenges are so complex that one individual alone cannot solve them. So we cannot achieve that by teaching the children the skills of the last century, what we are more or less doing. But we need to develop this new approach that will also allow for society and for the industry and for the organization to really meet the challenges of our time. So I think it has to start in the school, but it has to continue in the workplace.
Chia sẻ về kế hoạch trong tương lai gần, giáo sư Hà Vĩnh Thọ sẽ hợp tác cùng Trường Đại học Fulbright Việt Nam xây dựng Fulbright Mindfulness Center, một trung tâm đóng vai trò phát triển doanh nghiệp xã hội, nghiên cứu, đào tạo và tiếp cận cộng đồng.
So this is very much aligned with what we want to do, and we get a lot of requests of schools, organizations who want to implement the idea of gross national happiness in their context. So we need to train a lot of people who are able to do that. And so I think that the collaboration with Fulbright could be a very strong leverage to really develop people who are then sort of ambassadors, happiness ambassadors in schools, in public, or in civil service, in organization, in the business world. So I think it has a potential to be a very fruitful collaboration.